In 2017, researchers at the British Museum tried something unusual. They had two ancient Egyptian mummies. They did not unwrap them. They put them in a CT scanner. This is now standard practice. CT scans show the inside without damage. Great for preservation, a little unnerving for the scanner. The bones are right on the monitor, separated by centimeters of linen, by thousands of years. What the researchers saw was strange. One adult male mummy from Roman Egypt. His bones were out of position, not catastrophically. The skeleton was intact. But the arms had moved since burial. The question leads down a long rabbit hole. It involves embalmers, robbers, pilgrims, chemistry, rats. There are dozens more like this, dead or alive. For 3,000 years, the process was consistent. Remove the organs. Dry with natron. Wrap in linen. Place in a coffin. The goal was not modern preservation. It was for the soul, called the Ka. The soul needed a recognizable body to find. If the body was destroyed, nowhere to go. So embalmers worked to keep the body complete, even if it meant removing soft tissue. The bones, importantly, were left in place. Skull to spine. Spine to pelvis. Arms to shoulders. This is the starting point. Burial position. Anything after this is without permission. The team was led by Dr. Daniel Antoine. One was a man called Paddington, a nickname, not his real name. He lived in Roman Egypt, about 1 to 200 AD. His right arm bones were in the wrong place, lower, as if the arm slid downward. The other mummy, a child, had a neck problem. The skull had moved relative to the spine. The researchers considered three possibilities. First, decomposition settling. Bones shift slightly as tissue dries. Normal. A centimeter or two. Second, tomb disturbance. Rats, insects, water, or humans. This would show specific patterns. Third, post-burial manipulation. Someone opened the coffin, did something, rewrapped it. The most dramatic, the hardest to prove. For Paddington, they concluded option 2, something pushed or pulled from outside. A rat, they think, climbed on top of the coffin. Gnawed through. Over weeks or months, the arm shifted. Not dramatic, not supernatural, just a rat. The child told a stranger story. Skull and spine, twisted deliberately, at almost 90 degrees. And the teeth had been stained red. Red pigment from later rituals. Centuries after this child was buried, somebody opened the coffin, twisted the head, restained the teeth. Researchers think it was a pilgrimage. Families visited ancestral tombs, retreated bodies with the latest rituals. The head turn aligned toward a holy direction. Like Mecca orients prayer for Muslims, documented elsewhere in Egyptian practice. There is also a more troubling category. 200 mummies contain animal bones, sometimes birds, sometimes cats, once a crocodile. How did these get inside? 3 plausible explanations. Rats dragged bones in. Tomb robbers hid artifacts and forgot them. Or, the most interesting, it was deliberate. Sacred animals placed inside as charms. Animal mummies were common. Millions of them. Cats, ibises, crocodiles, bulls. Sometimes a smaller mummy nested inside. Without more evidence, leave it open. The British Museum is not the only scanner. As CT got cheaper, museums worldwide scanned collections. The compiled picture is striking. Post-burial movement is quite common. A 2020 survey of over 100 mummies. Roughly 30% showed displacement. The causes vary. Rodent disturbance, common in older tombs. Rats, mice, shrews chew anything soft. Tomb flooding scatters bones. Insects, especially beetles, eat linen. Human disturbance. Robbery. Pilgrimage. Rewrapping. Natural settling during drying. Coffin collapse. Wood rots. The bones follow. The 30% number is conservative. Many older mummies were unwrapped in the 1800s. Those researchers cared about artifacts. Disturbance was simply recorded as damage. A modern resurvey would push the number higher. One more category, though it sounds like horror. Mummies that were never dead. Most embalmers dealt with real bodies. But documented cases, late period, families faked it. The technique was straightforward. Stuff the body with rags, plants, sawdust, animal remains. Wrap it in linen. Paint on a face. Sometimes just linen around a wooden frame. There was no body inside. Called resin mummies, the smell masked it. These fakes fooled people for centuries. Several ended in European collections as authentic. The CT scans caught some of them. A wooden frame, or rags, lights up differently. There is also pancake mummies, rolling linen into a flat human shape, used as votive offerings to receive prayers. For someone whose body was lost or unburied, never meant as a real burial, moved deliberately by priests or family. So, dead or alive, always dead. The bones just kept moving. Sometimes rats, sometimes embalmers rushed, sometimes coffin collapsed, sometimes nobody knows. Mummies in museums are not the same shape. They are survivors of 2,000 years. Time is the longest embalmer. And the soul had better be patient, still looking.